These pilots are among the best of the best that flies into the world's worst weather.
It takes a minimum of 3 people to get this plane off the deck and into the air.
William Weisinger is a hurricane hunter. He's part of an elite flight crew that is dedicated to critical reconnaissance missions. What is the mission? To gather invaluable real-time data for meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center.
Responsible for all the switches and toggles and buttons up here, and I also handle in-flight malfunctions and emergencies.
The steady stream of weather data will feed into computer models that help hurricane researchers get a better understanding of a storm's structure. This helps improve the forecast models, which assess the storm's threat before it makes landfall.
I'm looking at the radar and the data, trying to figure out when the best time to drop this sonde is to get the data that we want, especially when we're flying through the eye wall of a hurricane.
But the job is far from easy, slicing through the eye wall of a hurricane.
We're all right.
Packing winds well over 160 miles an hour in some cases, with howling winds, blinding rain, and violent updrafts and downdrafts.
There goes the fence. Holy cow.
Before even entering the relative calm of the storm's eye isn't for everyone, not even for some of the most seasoned storm chasers.
Are you back there?
Yeah, we're good.
During the course of an 8 to 10 hour mission, these flying weather stations are packed with instruments aimed at collecting live real-time weather data. On board, the 3-dimensional Doppler radar and a multi-mode radar provide different pictures of the storm's structure with precise detail. Think CAT scan, but for clouds. What you see here is what's called a drop zone. Now, this is deployed from the hurricane hunters as they try and assess the intensity of these storms. Now, this travels about 2,500 feet a minute, or about 7,000 feet, to get down to the ocean. This provides a horizontal and vertical profile of the atmosphere, which is critical in determining the path, intensity, and future track of these storms. These hurricane missions have a track record that works. So far, the Hurricane Center says the data from these missions has helped improve the hurricane forecast tracks by as much as 30%. The data from these missions can increase both the storm's track forecast and accuracy. It can narrow the cone of uncertainty and help the Hurricane Center improve the forecast from 3 days out to 5 days, which builds more critical time for people to prepare and do what they need to do for their families.
We all live busy lives. We have a lot going on. There's a lot going on in your life. You got school, work, your family, your friends, everything else. Hurricane season doesn't care whether you're prepared or not. So you have to be ready and start understanding what your risk is.
The Hurricane Hunter planes fly in a pattern passing through the center of the storm every 2 hours that collects data in all 4 quadrants of the storm. The scientists and meteorologists on board have the job of quality controlling all of the information that comes in from the instruments attached to the aircraft before it gets sent off to the Hurricane Center. That will provide life-saving forecast in the days to come. I'm Leslie Hudson reporting.